I can't help it. Anyway, welcome. It is the ATB show. We got Uncle Dukes. We were trying to determine, are you, my guess is you're in, but I'm going to change I think I'm wrong already. Are you in Logan's bedroom or Big Nate's?
Big Nate's.
Yeah. Okay. I initially said Logan. I'm like, no, there's a lot of sports stuff on the wall. Not that Logan's not into it, but I feel like Logan's probably hanging posters of not sports. Are we at that age where he's got
you can call them sports.
No females.
Not yet.
Not many females, I should say.
Oh, but he has.
But no, it's mostly it's mostly movies and things like that.
Well, I'm sure he has female paraphernalia in the bedroom. You just don't know where it is yet.
Yes. Oh, yes. That is yes, there has been. I have wandered over a few of those things.
Have we walked in on him yet?
No, thank God. No,
all right.
God. No, I make myself.
You march in and he's pulling the goalie, and it's not even the playoffs yet. You're like, oh boy, oh boy. All right.
No. He just took I think he took science or sex ed class, and he's told there's an extra 3 inches inside, so if he pulls hot enough, but
it's periscopic. It's periscopic. That's what they tell the Irish kids. It's the only way I sleep at night. Yeah, there's more inside. Yeah.
If I hear him say to a chick you want a dick pic, you need an X-ray, something like that, then I'm going to be like, this is a problem. We need to talk. I'm not sure if you're paying too much attention at school or I don't know, but wow.
That was the advertising I had for my wedding night with Janina. But wait, there's less. Yeah. It's just so disappointed. So disappointed. That's interesting. That's interesting. That you're in that age range with him now. Good for you.
Yeah, he's 17 and going on a-hole, so it's great. Yeah, it's a good time.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I remember
he's actually got an interview for the Hannafoods coming up.
The Hannafoods. I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Which one is he going to work at? Possibly.
York.
Oh, it's a great spot. That's a great spot.
Yeah, 15 minutes away. It's not
perfect.
It's not far. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. And it was either that one or the North Berwick one were the two. He wanted to work at the North Berwick one because all of his buddies are there. But the problem is all of his buddies
are there. Yeah. Nobody's going to get any work done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna be in the back room measuring each other. Yeah. Right. I swear to God, there's 3 inches inside. Definitely. We have no Adam tonight. We have no Rubbish Shoes. A rare night off for Rubbish Shoes. He is. I think tonight's the night that he and Tyler are at grappling. I don't know what level of grappling they're at, but they're at grappling. So he is detained. You've got Corey in beautiful downtown South Kakalaka, Uncle Duke's live from Big Nate's studio, and I'm here in beautiful downtown New Hampshire. Lots to talk about. The WNBA draft was last night, which I knew
let's talk about that.
It was so quiet in the chat. Well, I was only there for really two people. I wanted to Paige. We knew was going to go obviously to Dallas. And it was killing me because they started talking about Haley Van Lith, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna go to Chicago to be with, she's there with Reese. Yeah, and I'm like, ugh.
But she didn't get along with Reese anyway.
Shit, well, they didn't really get along great at LSU, so this is going to be interesting. I just wanted her to be at a team that really needed her. I mean, they just. I was hoping for Connecticut, honestly. I was hoping for her to come to the Sun, only for the fact that they just sort of pieced out their their 5 starters are all gone. Way more WNBA stuff that I know that I should know, but I was hoping she'd come here so she'd be at a team that I could truly be excited about, New England, and then not be annoyed that she's on a team with somebody that I really don't like, Reese. But there we have it. So, and after that, Janina looks at me as soon as the HVL goes off the board. She's like, your girlfriends have both been drafted. We can watch something else now. I'm like, really? So judgy. Lord knows Adam was probably up all night.
You didn't stick around and see what's her name not get drafted? I can't even think of her name now that I've said.
Who was it that didn't get drafted?
She played for TCU and she had a lot of domestic violence issues. She was supposed to go like mid 2s.
Oh, shoot.
Second round, third round?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
never got drafted at all.
if I seem to be more than a casual fan of the WNBA, it's only to annoy William Francis Corey. I promise you that. Like, just the fact that Grumpy gets so worked up about HVL and Paige and all that kind of stuff. I think they're both super talented. I think the league's going to get better, and I know that he's not going to watch it. But I'm also not going to watch Friday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw, Your Mother's Raw, like all the stuff that he's watching every night of the night of the night and the day, and then he's probably recording. Like, I don't know what's going on, but okay, cool. That's fine. We'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.
It's going to be all right.
It's not for me either. I'm not a big WNBA fan, but I don't hate it as much as he does.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I don't really outside of Paige, and I don't even know HVL's actual name.
Haley Van Lith.
There you go. Actually, you said that earlier. I should have, if I was paying attention, apparently.
It's okay.
I don't. It's not for me, but I don't. He gets fired up.
Well, the best part of it, I mean, let's be honest, since they're both not here, the best part is WWE, or just grappling, greater grappling America, the GGA. Let's start that. The GGA versus the WNBA are just their counterparts, kryptonites.
Oh yeah.
Like, if we could just throw those two leagues into an octagon and those two boys into it would just, that's a pay-per-view. Yeah. That's a pay-per-view. Like, they just get so worked up and so insulted, and I just sit in the chat. I'm like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. It's not a sport.
It's fun to watch. It's not a sport.
So her name is Sedona Prince.
What happened with her? What's going on? She's got a lot of stuff going on.
So four women came forward. 4 women came forward saying that they were in a domestic. They were in a relationship with her, and she beat them up, or she raped them, or whatever. And, she declared for the draft. She was supposed to be. She's 6'7", right? She's a really good player.
Yeah,
I think she was touted to go in the second round, and all 3 rounds went by, and she didn't get drafted at all because of what's on the table. Sure, understood. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, whether she's guilty or not, who knows? But 4 people are probably not making up stories, so we'll see. We'll let the law step in and figure that out. I do find it fascinating, and I'm going to say this, and I whether I'm out of bounds or not, I don't know. It's pretty clear that Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd are in a relationship, and I find it fascinating for as forward thinking as the league is, as forward thinking as ESPN is. Janina last night sort of asked, just out of pocket, she's like, wait a minute, is she? I'm like, yeah, hon. Paige is, she's not wearing a shirt that says it, but I'm pretty sure, pretty sure yes. And then I said, and if I'm not crazy, I believe her and AZ from Connecticut, and AZ's going to stay at UConn. She has eligibility for 1 more year. Gino talked her into it because she can. And the thing is, again, with the WNBA money and NIL money, especially at UConn, and especially being AZ Fudd, she's probably going to make more staying as long as she stays healthy, right, and doesn't pull a juju. Anyway, I just find it funny with how out in the open and all this stuff we are. And then they referred to, because I said to Janina, I said, well, watch. I said, if when she gets drafted, if AZ is her first hug at a table full of her parents and family, that's pretty telling. And Paige is sitting there. She stands up. AZ stands up in a beautiful gown. And that was their first hug. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're a couple. And when Rebecca Lobo and other people were talking about, they're like, her teammate, AZ, there to support her. Like, I get privacy and all that stuff, but in any other realm, they're always talking about, like, if it's Logan Duquette and his girl that you don't know about yet, his girl is at the draft, they're going to say, Logan, there's his girlfriend, Julia, right? They would always say that. And it was just funny in this league that's so pro-woman and so out and making sure everybody is aware, and that they wouldn't say girlfriend. I just found that sort of stunning to me in the moment. Like, no, that's just her. Like, the rest of her team is way back in like the 9th row, all sitting together like they're at the movies. And AZ is in like a red carpet gown sitting next to her. Like, just call it what it is. I don't know. But I guess if they both haven't publicly come out and said they're a couple, she's just her really good friend supporting her at the draft.
I did Google it, and there was nothing. She's very private about it.
There's nothing available. Yeah, no, I completely get that. Well, they're loaded. I don't know what the numbers are, but she signed with Unrivaled yesterday morning, and Adam jumped in the chat and said she'll make more from Unrivaled than she'll make at the WNBA. Hence why she signed. And Unrivaled, if you follow, you said Ice Cube's Big 3 league that he has. Yeah, that's like the WNBA's version of it. So
it was really good. I watched a couple of games.
She's going to print money. It'll be good. We're going to stop talking about the NBA, WNBA, because I can feel Scotty melting. Melting slowly. Melting slowly. We're done.
Hot sauce.
Listen, I did that for two reasons. Because Adam would have wanted to talk about it. So in his absence, I had to be the town crier. And because I know what to piss rubber shoes off.
It was in the show notes. So
it was in the show notes.
It was in the show notes.
It was in the show notes. It was in the prep. It was all in the prep.
Us a lot of credit there, Corey.
The show notes. Where are the show notes? Where is my crayon? What are we talking about next? What do we want to talk about next?
We can go into the NBA then, from WNBA to the
Let's
NBA.
do that. Let's do that. Pritch, please.
Pitch.
Yeah, talk to me.
Yeah. Love it.
Well, tonight kicks off the play-in, right? So we're going to find out. The Celtics will find out who they're going to play, either Atlanta or Orlando.
I hope it's Atlanta. I hope it is.
Honestly,
Atlanta looks tough, though.
Atlanta or Orlando?
Orlando looks tough.
Orlando, they're a better defensive team than Atlanta, but offensively, they're just atrocious. They don't have, they're missing a lot of key pieces, and they have been for a while. But if I would prefer a team, I would say Orlando, to be honest with you, because I don't think Orlando has the dogs to run. I'm not really concerned for either of them. Atlanta could steal one, maybe 2 games if Trey gets hot and goes nuts. And Atlanta's always kind of a tough place to play because they're super fair weather. But when they do show up in the playoffs, those once every 4 years, they're really tough down there, and they do support them pretty well just during that time. But at least that'll start, and then there's the second game, and then the last 2 play-ins, and then everything kind of kicks off on Saturday. Celtics will be playing on Sunday, I believe. It's like the second game, but they haven't announced times yet. Going into it, into the postseason, obviously the biggest concern everyone's talking about is Jaylen Brown. Like, how healthy is he? Like that's just it. I think that's the topic here is. If he's not healthy, you're going to need, obviously, I think KP needs to step up and have a really good series. I think Pritchard, will be critical as well. But I think also Derek White will need to be taking on a lot more defensive duties as well. But my last point is, if Brown is not healthy throughout this postseason run, or if he struggles, which I'm hoping he is, this is that opportunity for Tatum that has gotten the constant disrespect, and he's played so well this year. He's been awesome. This is his opportunity to say, because everyone's like, oh, well, he didn't win the finals MVP and he shot 28% from the 3-point line last playoff. So blah, blah. This is his opportunity to say, this is my team. Let me show you. Let me go ahead and get ahead.
Yeah.
So this is a massive, massive opportunity for Jason Tatum, if Brown, God forbid, is not hurt. So at least I think that's kind of where I'm kicking things off. I don't know
do you think that he's got the talent. Do you think he alone, without the bookend of Jaylen Brown, can put the team on his back and get this done? If Jaylen is never at 82% at his best, what's the timeline that you've heard that he's going to be back and he's going to be good?
They haven't really given one. I'll be honest with you.
I'm fine with him sitting out the whole first round of the playoffs. They don't.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that. Yeah.
I mean, the first round, I looked at it the other day. So the first round, in regards to what the Celtics did during the season, regular season, they actually, against Orlando and Atlanta, they both had losing records. They were 1-2 against both of the teams, which is wild to think about. But the second round, they dominated, right? So they swept the Knicks. They took 2 out of 3 against Detroit, and that last one was when basically nobody played. Here a couple of weeks ago and at the end of March, and then obviously Eastern Conference Finals. The teams that could potentially make it, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and Indiana. they swept Milwaukee. They took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, and they lost. They were 1-2 against Indiana. But for the first round, I'm not worried. If JB doesn't play at all in the first round, I still think Tatum can. Yeah, he can lift them and get them there. Second round, I'm a little more concerned, but do I think that they have the depth and can Tatum take them to that, to the Eastern Conference? Yes. When they get to the Eastern Conference Finals, if JB is not there, he's not 100, I'm concerned. There's a lot of concern there because Cleveland is legit as much as, I know Billy and Little Shoes don't agree that they are. I mean, they proved it, I thought. I mean, they finished with the best record in the Eastern Conference. They're a damn good basketball team. To this day, Milwaukee still scares me, even though we did sweep them. Giannis scares me. He's a freak. He's just an absolute freak in nature. And Lillard can be he could be like a version of playoff Jimmy kind of thing, right? Damian Lillard had some playoff moments. And then Indiana is a good basketball team. They're very solid, I think a solid basketball team. So I don't think Cleveland has to worry about the 8 seed getting, knocked off. So those are the 3 teams, one of those 3 teams, they would meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. So to answer your question, very long-winded, I'm not concerned with round 1 or really round 2. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. If Brown's not healthy, that's going to be a challenge. And then the NBA Finals would be a massive challenge.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Milwaukee. I don't think Lillard's even going to play. He's already out of the first round. That report's already come through.
That Lillard's not going to play in the first round?
He's not going to play in the first round. He's going to miss the first round of the playoffs.
But they could still beat Indiana without him, I think. I don't know. Giannis is
They get bounced in the first round again. The whole thing's going to get blown up.
Yep.
And you know what makes me really happy? Philadelphia's a mess.
Listen. Hey, they're trusting the process.
The process.
They're trusting the process.
Dead.
The process of rinse and repeat. Miss the playoffs and then complain about stuff.
It's unreal. And just like the Bruins fans, and obviously we've had our seasons where we've been great, but like the Bruins fans were always so patient, or just the dedication of Bruins fans to be a 76er fan. Has to just be like, what are we doing? Like, what's happening right now?
They are a mess, a straight up mess.
It's not great.
I drink their tears for happiness for myself. So, I mean, I love that, but yeah, it'd be tough to be.
The great news is Morey and Nurse are going to be back for another year.
Yep, I saw that. I
love
see that. Which is wild because every NBA coach, even mid-season, was getting fired. You fired, it felt like, you know what I mean? You lost Malone, got fired. Which I think still to this. I mean, I know he lost the locker room, but
yeah, who got fired today? Somebody got fired today.
Budenholzer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I saw that pop up.
Because have you seen since Kevin Durant Kevin Durant has arrived there, he has burned through now 3 straight head coaches in 3 years. Not a good look for him. Not a good look. It's wild to think, when you look back on his career and you look at his legacy, and when we talk legacy, we got to talk about Masters at some point, by the way.
Yes, ma'am.
But when you look back, is he going to be more of a coach killer than he is going to be one of the all-time dominant scorers in the NBA, which he is. He was up there. He's definitely one of the great scorers of all time. But man, I mean, he had to go to Golden State to get his chips, and that team, those teams were really loaded. So yeah,
I don't know if I blame this one on Durant as much as I do
the organization.
I mean, the organization's a mess. If you think Philly's a mess, these guys are straight up mess. This is like dumpster fire. Booker is the killer for this coach. He couldn't get along with him, according to the reports that I read.
I know Malone lost the locker room in Denver. Actually, apparently it's been a few months now, where he was just, honestly, when I read the story, it reminded me of the Bill Fitch stories used to hear by from McHale and Bird and stuff and Parrish, where Bill Fitch used to just piss you off because he felt that you played better when you were pissed off. And I feel like Malone was kind of always keeping them on their toes and keeping them I feel like that was a very a kind of a thing that kind of happened there. But it was just a crazy NBA year. The Western Conference is, to me, I'll be shocked if the Thunder do not make the finals. I think the Western Conference has some good, mid-round matchups, but I don't think anyone's touching. I don't think anyone's touching SGA and the Thunder. If they're healthy, they're going to the finals. I don't see beating them. They're so good. They're super deep, and they're well coached, and their scheme is unbelievable. They play defense, which, if you look at the West, not many teams play defense out there. So that to me, I think that's everyone's talking about the LA and stuff, which I think the Clippers are, they became sneaky good with Kawhi deciding to show back up, and if he stays healthy, they could make a bit of a push. But I don't know.
I don't think any of the LA teams make it at all
to the finals or to the Western Conference Finals.
To the Western Conference Finals. Yeah. I like Oklahoma. I've watched a number of their games. I just don't trust when it comes to experience. They're so young, right? I mean, you go up against a veteran savvy team that is decent,
But the only one you'd run into would be what? Denver, right? Because Denver's it's the 4 and the 5, right? So it's Denver and the Clippers, and then it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves, and then you got the Houston Rockets, which, by the way,
I would love to have Ant knock off LeBron.
I could see Houston actually, because I think Golden State's playing for the 7-8 seed, right? And I feel like Golden State's going to win. I could see Golden State beating Houston. By the way, that would not shock me at all. Everything was so close. I mean, it was all by a game out west, so it wasn't like Houston had the 2 seed locked up like weeks ago, like Boston did. And so I could see that happening. But I mean, I guess to your point, Corey. I mean, Denver could beat them if they're healthy and their heads on straight potentially. I don't know about the Clippers though.
I don't trust Clippers. No.
I don't trust Harden. I don't trust Harden in the postseason. Harden just shrinks. He just shrinks. He just does. I don't trust him. We saw it in Philly for multiple years. He'd have one good game and then he'd show up and shoot 3 for 17 the next game. And he's never really been consistent. So
he's never really had a sidekick, I guess, if you will, like Kawhi.
You do know he went to the finals with Russell Westbrook and KD, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't the main guy. It was KD and Russell at that point.
That was like, I mean, they were.
I'm talking about him as his team. Houston was his team.
Oh. Okay, I see what you're saying. I was like,
you're saying he shriveled up.
Well, right? You don't think Embiid was his sidekick?
Well, there's 3 inches inside though. But go back to your point.
Embiid? Embiid was his sidekick.
God, are you kidding me? Embiid's nothing. If he wasn't tall, he wouldn't be nothing.
He wouldn't be nothing.
Nothing.
You're ruining my summer.
He's terrible. Terrible. I don't even want to start. Let's change subjects. Joe Dumars is going to be a GM again.
I heard that.
Is he really?
The Pelicans.
The New Orleans.
The bird people.
I don't get it. That was wild to me. He ruined Detroit. I mean, he got him started them off. Obviously, went to back-to-back NBA Finals, won a chip, right? But then it just went. I mean, it was not good. It wasn't like a he kind of went downstairs and it was just barely a decline. No, it went he went down like a black diamond, man. That was just.
That's because the ownership didn't want to spend any money.
That's a part of it, honestly. And by the way, the Knicks. Speaking of the Detroit Pistons. They need to be aware that Pistons teams, dude, that team's young, then they're hungry and they're legit. Cade Cunningham this year has been a monster, and I like it. They have a chip on their shoulder that they like. Wasn't Isaiah Stewart who was it? That like Giannis was trying to mess with him, like just in a joking way. I think a couple of nights ago, where he like knocked him down. It was just like kind of shimmying, just kind of like joking around with him. It was even trying to shake his. Wanted nothing to do with it, and that's been Detroit all year. It's like, I'm not your friend. I don't want to be your friend. So I'm not very Detroit, right? Yeah, very Detroit. So I think the Knicks might have their hands full too. But I don't know. This is the best time of the year, man.
Every time you say playoff Jimmy, I immediately think of the guy on Seinfeld that had those shoes that talked about himself in the third person.
Yeah.
Jimmy likes those shoes a lot.
Jimmy's really good. Jimmy likes Elaine. Oh my God. Playoff Jimmy. Love it.
Playoff Jimmy's going to be in the play-in, and I think
why. Here's the question: why are they calling him Jimmy Butler the third?
Because he is.
I know, but he's been in the league for over a decade, right? And they've always called him Jimmy Butler. Why now is he the third? Is it because he's on his fifth team?
I don't know.
He needs a different name.
If you watch Starting Five, he did reference that. And I think he did it. I think it's happened since his dad passed. If you watch Starting Five? It was Starting Five. Am I losing my mind? Yeah, and Starting Five, he talks about a lot about his relationship with his dad, and his dad basically his dad. No,
Michael Jordan's still alive.
Oh my God,
Michael Jordan's his dad, right?
We're not having an adult conversation, Scotty. Do you want to wrap it up?
We're losing him. Do
you want to get back to your family?
Jesus.
Listen. I had to,
are you dipping into the Blantons? Did you hit the Blantons early, Margaret? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I did.
1 o'clock.
I did. This is my Halloween costume. Oh my God, what are we doing? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. See you 11.
Golden State and Memphis tonight. That's the other play-in. Sorry, I apologize. I meant to get to that. Golden State, Memphis tonight, and then tomorrow is Heat Bulls. Nobody cares, and Mavericks Kings, and nobody cares because neither.
Is there a planet we could live on, or some sort of sorcery that could happen with the officiating that we get the Lakers deep into a Western Conference situation?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see that definitely happening. Look, Lakers are
they're going to go to the Western Conference Final. It's them in Oklahoma.
Yep.
You're asking me if that's going to happen?
Yeah.
No, that's definitely happening. It's in the script.
It's possible. It depends on who shows up. If Anthony Edwards of
please God, yes,
last year where he basically carried that team to the Western Conference Finals shows up, like that dude was on next level, like playing insane basketball. If he shows up, they may not make it out of the first round. If Anthony Edwards, that fathered his 17th kid in the last year and a half, shows up, then it might be a little bit of a problem there.
Oh, I didn't realize it. Does he have multiple chillins?
Oh, you haven't heard about that?
I'm sorry. No,
look at him.
Oh my!
When I watched Starting Five, it appeared to me like that was the. I mean, they listen. Uninformed, welcome to the show. If you aren't paying attention and you didn't know the genealogy of AE, they made it seem like that was his first little one.
They did.
I didn't realize that was his first little one that week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
That's pretty much what's happened. It's
how many kids now? Oh my God! I'm holding the internet. I'll look it up.
I think it's either 4 or 5 with 5 different women.
Ooh.
And he has child support set up for each one of them. Essentially, it's a nuts thing.
Anthony Edwards is currently in a legal dispute with his ex-partner, Aisha Howard, regarding the child support for their daughter, Aubrey Summer Edwards. Edwards has asserted he is not seeking custody or visitation and is focused on the financial aspects of the case. It's just talking about that one, but so there's 4 or 5.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're all like that. That's the one that made the news because she pushed back and wanted, she'd be basically made it newsworthy. Because the whole lawsuit and stuff like that. But there's it's nuts.
So the one on Starting Five, that girl's not in the picture.
I have no idea.
She's out of the picture. Now I'm in trouble. Well, I know, but as soon as she's out of the picture, he's going to put somebody else in the picture. Then he's going to put a baby in that picture.
Yeah, already has. Yeah. This is a rotating baby picture.
Yeah, God bless him.
Yeah.
Hey.
Very busy. Very active in the chat. Very busy. Very busy.
So
all right.
I could see the
so
Lakers
confused.
Getting past Minnesota. You're right. If Edwards isn't the main guy, I don't see Luka playing any better defense than he's played his whole career.
No.
and LeBron is you're gonna breathe on him and he's gonna fall down.
Listen, I'm gonna watch the Celtics and I'm gonna watch LeBron act. Those are the only two things I want to see because I just want to see him get knocked out. It's like watch the Yankees get knocked out. It's the same hatred. That's a strong word, but I'm gonna stick with it.
And I never felt like that with Jordan. Like they keep comparing Jordan and
they gotta stop.
LeBron.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop.
Where is this with Kobe? Like why aren't they talking about Kobe and Jordan?
I know they do. I mean, I know they do talk about him. Like they bring
not
him
as
up
much as
every
the
once in a
LeBron
while.
and Jordan talk.
It's always LeBron and Jordan, and it always will. I mean, it's going to be because, I mean, LeBron had to call himself the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like he's just it's obnoxious. They need to stop. It's such a dead horse that it's past that. It's skeletal. You know what I mean? Like it's just nobody cares anymore. Like let it go, man. Like just stop talking about it. And Shannon Sharp on ESPN calls him GOAT James all the time. Like shut the fuck up. Like no one. First of all, no one likes you. I mean, I don't know why you're on that freaking. I mean, it's ESPN, so there you go.
The GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT. No T. The GOAT.
Have you guys started to watch? Speaking of Kobe, the making of the legend on Max.
Is that the Kobe special on HBO or Netflix?
It's on Max. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Max. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's from a few years back. Like I think it was like CNN or something like that did like the special on it. Yeah, it's okay. I hate the Lakers so much. It's really hard for me to watch it. And I watch like all sports documentaries, and I know they get. I mean, like
if you watch the credits, William Francis Corey is an executive producer because they started writing it back when he was a fan.
Yeah. And for me, I was like, oh, I'll check it out. And I got through the first like episode and a half.
Yep.
And then I was just like, I can't. It's tough.
I'm on the episode where he strangled a 17 or 19-year-old in Denver. So they talk about that.
Yeah, they do. They actually and they get into that a lot. Yeah, they get into
there was a whole episode. I was surprised how deep they went on it. Like some of the stuff I didn't know.
I'm not at that episode yet. I think that's like 3 or 4 or something like that. But I'm not there yet. But yeah, it's not. I don't know. That's the other thing too. Like I think it spent more time off the court, I guess. But I don't know. It's just look. I don't like speaking ill of the dead, but I didn't fucking like him. I never liked Kobe. I didn't like him when he played. I like him when he retired. Right,
Jordan. I liked when he played. Just watching him play was just magical. But you can appreciate, just like Derek Jeter. I can appreciate Derek Jeter. I didn't like watching him play. I can appreciate him. Yes. I can appreciate Kobe. Yep. I can appreciate the guy that went through a wall every single night and gave you everything you had and practiced. Then go out and party. Basketball. Yeah. Like just think if Shaq would have been more like Kobe, what he would have been, right?
Yeah.
Yep. No, phenomenal basketball player. I'm not saying that. I mean, I saw Shaq and Kobe live in their prime in the 2000s against the Wizards, in Washington. And Kobe was by far the fastest human being, quickest human being I've ever seen, and like right in front of me. He was amazing, but I just never. It's hard for me to watch something like that when I don't care. I don't know.
They almost went to 4 straight finals back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the finals they went, 2 of the finals that they went to were bought and paid for. Let me tell you, that Portland game, that Sacramento series. I mean, you go back and look at those.
Bought and paid conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy. It's legit. You've got, look
it's a C-O-N.
Oh my God. It's awful. So, Timmy, you asked the question, could we see the Lakers? Yeah, I could absolutely see the Lakers.
1,000%.
Not just in the Western Conference Finals, but potentially in the NBA Finals.
He will soccer foul. He will soccer red card his way to a final. Yep.
Yeah. Would not shock me. Would not shock me, but yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Lakers, it would be pretty phenomenal. I would love
it. Would.
It'd be great. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Beat him to be able to beat Luka again, back-to-back years on different teams.
So great.
Oh, beautiful. And to win a final over LeBron?
Yeah.
Oh,
it'd be 6 to me.
Oh, pornography.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you hear? Speaking of
those 3 inches anymore?
They're all out, baby. They're all out.
Speaking of Luka, did you hear that Harris was quoted in saying, "I have no regrets trading Luka"? If Luka makes it to the finals 2 years in a row with 2 different teams, he should get fired.
He should get fired anyway. He should get fired anyway. It's still possibly one of the worst trades I've ever seen. They got
it's a conspiracy because they want to move him to Vegas, right? That's the whole thing.
But there was something. There's an undercurrent. If you go back to it was viral when it happened. It was after they won the Western Conference Final.
Oh, the Michael Finley.
And he's with his dad drinking a beer, and he walks over and he scoops the beer out of his hand.
Yeah, Michael Finley ripped that out of his hand. Yeah.
Finley pulls it out of his hand, and he sort of looks at him. And he looks back at his dad, sort of like, whatever. And he wasn't putting up a fight. He's just like, and you saw it in his face. This is what it is. It is what it is. Like there was, but you also make a great point, Corey. Like the fact that they do want to have an excuse to move it and make it bad enough to move it to Vegas. But the Vegas Mavericks, it's just stupid.
Major League, where you're going to have the team be so bad that they up and move. You know, it's like, what do we? I don't know.
It's ridiculous. And Dallas is such an avid sports town. I don't see them letting an NBA team go. Yeah, I don't.
It's a big market, and
I don't know why the NBA wouldn't necessarily want to f with that. But
haven't they already talked about adding 2 expansion teams? One was going to be in Vegas. Already, and so what? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. He needs to get fired. I think it was honestly one of the worst trades I've ever seen. I think we all thought it was fake news because that's how bad it was.
I definitely thought it was fake. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Hammered, just high on 10 different gummies at the time. At
Mohegan 10 gummies, 10 gummies deep. Yep. Yeah. What are we looking at? My 3 inches. It's gonna be great.
I love when
take one more. It'll get bigger. Take the blue one. Take the blue one.
I love when you put in the chat, does anybody want to win this?
That was hysterical.
And
for the Masters.
I think that was Billy.
Masters.
That was Billy for the Masters, yeah.
Yep.
That was he didn't make it easy on himself, Rory. He did not make it easy on himself. I can tell you.
He never does. He never does.
No. He really doesn't. When he dunked it on 13, I was like, oh, dude, don't do that. Just don't do. And then I was just like, all I could see was he's going to go to 14, which he already, kind of struggled a little bit. 15, he struggled a bunch this week or that week.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm like, it's the next 2 holes are massive for him, and then obviously he played well enough, but then he missed that putt on 18.
Unbelievable. I'm like, this is not happening in real life. I was so nervous, and I'm like, oh my God, Rose is making the arc all the way back. All the way back.
And God bless him. I wasn't Rose started off I give him a ton of credit, because golf is so mental anyway, but he starts off banger on Thursday, plays well enough on Friday to basically still be in the lead. Saturday struggles. He's out of the lead. Basically, no one's talking about him. And then he has an incredible move day on Sunday and just plays out of his tits. And then, has it just to stay in it. And that second shot by Rose in the playoff, amazing. But for Rory to come out and hit it and put it just go, my ball's going to roll past yours, a good 5 feet and
Unreal.
Another 5-6 feet closer to the pin. It's just once I saw that second shot, I was like, it's over. He's got it. And I give Rory a ton of credit, and I'm so happy for him. And what were your thoughts, Timmy, when you just saw? I got goosebumps now. Just saw the raw emotion from him. I think it's just, for me, I was just like, I'm happy for the dudes. He doesn't have to listen to it anymore. He no longer has to worry about him being compared. He has his own legacy now.
Yeah, he's royalty now. I think I turn every weekend at the most random events. I turn to Ginny and I'm like, I don't know how people don't get this. Even when anybody USA is about to walk up the 18th fairway and win, and you've been watching all weekend and you've followed the athlete long enough to know that this is a big deal. I don't know how you were watching that as a golf fan, and I think the entire universe was watching Sunday. I don't know what you were watching if you weren't watching that. The Red Sox are dog meat right now. So maybe you were watching that, but you should have been watching. Everyone was watching. And when he drops down, the only challenge I have, and I love him because we all love the music and we all love Hello Friends, a tradition like no other. He was so syrupy.
You know, when he said he fell to the sacred sod, and he was saying all this other stuff. Like, I get it. We've all done it. We've all done broadcasting. We know you got to paint the picture with pretty words. I get all that, but there was a point, and I don't know the name of the guy who is the guy in Butler's cabin, who's like whoever the head honcho at Augusta is right now. But the setup was obviously Rory without jacket, Scheffler holding his jacket, wearing his jacket, lead dog from Augusta, and Nance. And Nance was commenting on something. And I was like, wait, is there a hitch in his voice? Is he getting emotional? And I get that to an extent. But then the guy from Augusta looked at it and it's like, are you going to fucking start crying right now? Like, you can't. And my point is, and we all worked in radio together, whether you're a journalist covering a big story or what, you don't become the story.
Yeah.
Like, let it be Rory's moment. And he just gets so saccharine and syrupy sometimes. I love Nance. He makes the Masters. But like, I was just like, oh, okay, are we done here? Like, he stepped away from college basketball. Maybe he just needs to go play golf and talk to his dog and be like,
he's already announced that he's retiring at the 100th Masters. So, he's got 10 more to do.
10 more to do.
Masters,
okay.
It'll be so he's going to do the NFL for the next whatever years.
Whatever. Okay.
Yeah. And then his last broadcast ever, he said he'll be at the 100th Masters.
The only thing, so I agree with you. Yeah, it was awesome. I thought the whole thing was great. Janina made a great point. It was sort of interesting that it didn't happen because you were waiting for it. I wanted him, because he's completely bent over, completely emotional. You can see his back just pumping because he's crying, right? And I wanted Poppy to run out and be standing over him when he came back up for air. That would have been, they'd still be playing that on a loop on CBS right now, printing money. That would have been magical. Sort of weird that his wife and Poppy didn't race out because it was over. It's not like somebody else had the putt or anything like that. It was all ready to go. That was sort of interesting. That didn't happen. That would have been great.
I think, you know why? It's Augusta. They don't, dude. It's so. Nate Dodge.
You make a great point. Yeah, nobody's ever run out on 18.
They don't, because they don't allow stuff like that.
You're right.
Augusta.
Even when Tiger won his last one and Charlie was little, he still had to go get to Charlie and get to the family. You make a great point. They were never going to let Poppy run out there.
No,
it's interesting.
It would have been great. It would have been lovely, but it just they don't allow stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
It is like, it's insane. And I heard stories from Nate and
my mom's so funny. She's like, no phones at the Masters. I wrote back. I'm like, yep. Yep.
And like Nate bought like Dodge has like a digital camera. He's got a ton of, he's got some pictures and stuff like that. Because he walked, they were there Wednesday and walked the practice round with some of the guys. And then they obviously went to some of the par 3 stuff and stuff like that too. But
family day on Wednesday is the greatest. I was at work. I had it on the whole time. And you're watching John Rahm's kid. He kept replacing his ball on the green, and his kid kept kicking it. Then his kid at one point like steps on it and drives it into the the groundkeeper is just like, oh my god, get these kids off the goddamn course. But Wednesday family day, I think, is the dopest thing ever, right? Because all the wives are caddying. Yeah, it's awesome.
But it's very like. Even like and even Neto said, it's like when you even went into the pro shop, it was the way that the line was, or even like the lines of the restroom, like how it was like done. Everything is so organized from parking all the way through is like Disney on crack was the exact quote that Eric said.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just like they boom, boom, very regimented. And it's like, you follow. And if you don't follow, then you're gone. And I asked him, I said, did you see anyone that was just like, had one too many, and was just hammered? And he said there was one guy that was pulling the Stevie Duquette where he had like the cups like stacked into them, like a bunch of them, and he was like,
saw a couple guys on TV with the stacks, and
but
not
was,
many.
Like, talking to a couple of the folks that like work there, they have like the green shirts or the green jackets or whatever, depends on what on the person you're speaking to, and he was just talking to him, and it wasn't like rowdy or anything like that, but they were just like, you got to kind of dial it back kind of a situation. And he was super happy. He just wasn't like, he wasn't being rowdy. He was just a happy guy, but he was definitely, 6 weeks of sideways or whatever. So, it's Augusta. It's so dialed in regards to that kind of stuff. That I agree. It would have been nice to see, but it wouldn't have happened. Definitely wouldn't have happened there.
Yeah. It's the first 9 and the second 9, not the front 9 and the back 9.
They have to say
patrons, not fans.
Not fans, not spectators, patrons.
Walking only, no running.
No running. Janita loves watching Saturday and Sunday morning when they're all scurrying. They're all race walking. And she's like, that woman's definitely running. I'm like, they'll tackle her. Don't worry about it. And then the no phone thing, which I think is super cool, getting back to LeBron the night that he scored his trillionth point and passed Kareem. One of the coolest pictures ever, if you've seen it, I think we've talked about it on the show, is there's a great shot of LeBron and he's taking the shot and everybody in the arena has their camera up, their phone, their camera up. And the only person seated, just enjoying the moment, is Uncle Phil from Nike. Phil Knight's seated. Phil Knight's just seated, taking it in. Everybody else is recording. And I like it. You don't realize it till you do. Like my mom, Cheryl, discovered it over the weekend. She's like, "Oh, no phones at Augusta." And I'm like, "Yep." Like you, but you don't realize it until you're next weekend. And I forget where we are this week. Oh, it's oh my God, Harbortown, yeah. Everybody will have their stuff up, recording everything, and you don't really realize it till you're there, and you're like, "Oh yeah, there's no phones."
Yeah, Eric had mentioned that it is it's a unique experience because there's so much more human interaction. You actually have conversations with people. People are taking in everything. And it's also, I think, also wise because on TV that does not do the justice of the ups and downs of walking that course. He's like, it's like, you think it's like slopey on TV.
Super hilly.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
Like you're going like, there's times where you're going straight down and then you're going straight back up. And there's like, and the greens, they look big on TVs. Like they're tiny. They're super small.
Yep.
It's such an amazing course. And I'm super jealous that I got a chance to go and obviously got in the lottery and all that. But it was just great to see and super happy for Rory.
Are you doing the lottery thing?
I've done it. I've done it a couple of times. Yeah.
I have an agent who every year for his birthday, he asks his family to just submit their name for the lottery for him. And he's gone. You guys have seen it in my office over on my credenza. He got me a mini gnome. I have a gnome that's about that big.
They sold out of those, I guess. Yeah. I got a flag.
Which is another thing which I credit them. Like when you go, and I don't know about parking, obviously, we could get some intel from our boys, but like parking, I have to imagine is probably not crazy. I know the tickets are tough to get into, but when everybody posts it every year, when they post the menu, you could go get fat, happy, and drunk with $11 at the Masters. Like the pimento sandwich is like $3.50. Have you ever seen the menu, Corey?
Yeah,
no.
like
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Awesome. Yeah. If you bring up the menu, it's worth doing. And then the other thing is, it's not that the pro shop isn't really super expensive. It's just you go in and you want one of everything. Like you see all these things on TikTok. They're like, okay, just got back to my hotel. Here's my Masters Pro Shop haul. And they got like 9 bags. And then I got this polo shirt. And then I got it in white. Then I got it in blue. Then I got a helmet. And I bought a car. Like, you end up spending $1 trillion because you got a ton of things. But nothing's really crazy insofar as the prices are concerned at the pro shop or at the restaurant.
Pro shop's pretty pricey. Dodge.
What did Dodge get?
He bought a bunch of stuff. But he okay, so I was talking to his wife on Friday, and I said, "Hey, have you checked in with the guys? How are things going? Blah blah blah." And she's like, "Yeah, I was talking." And because I was wrong, by the way. They didn't take their 2 dads. It was Eric took his parents,
okay,
and Nate. So in the background, apparently, when Tina was talking to Nate, Rhonda goes, "Tell her what you did." So I'm thinking like, "Oh God, what did he do to get?
What did he do? Yeah,
whatever."
Yeah.
Apparently, he was in the pro shop, and the way the pro shop works is you go up and you see like different items, and they're numbered. So you say, "Oh, I'll take number like 23." But
sure. Yep. Like you're at a concert. Shirt 12, shirt 13. Yep.
Exactly. And Nate had already gotten a bunch of stuff. And so he went up to pay for all of his stuff, including, by the way, one of those little seats. You ever see those seats that they have?
The green seats. Yep. The armless green seats. Yep.
Apparently he bought that right before they left, even though Eric's like, why did you could have bought it when we first got there if you knew you were going to do that, and you could have sat on it all day, but that, I guess, whatever. Anyway.
Didn't want to carry it. I get it.
It's Dodge. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
He gets up there, he pays for everything. He's like, wow, that was really expensive. Well, come to find out, item number 23 or whatever it was like this sweater, this Master sweater, super nice, and it was 400 and something.
I was going to say 425, 1,000%. Yep.
And he's like, "Oh my god!" He was so upset. He's like, "Are you?" Like, asked Tina. He's like, "Are you mad at me?" She's like, "No, it's fine. It's fine." So I told him on Sunday we were at Eric's house for the Masters. We play golf there, and Eric gets the box, right, the Masters box. With
you told me about that
and all that. Right? And so we're in his garage, and we're playing, and got the Masters on. Nate walks in, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a really nice shirt. That's not $400. It was a nice pullover, or whatever." And it's like this nice blue pullover, and he goes, "Oh no, that's going on eBay." And I'm like, "What?" He's
the
like,
sweater?
I can't wear it. He's like, "I'll be stressed out of my mind if I wear it, and if something happens to it." He's like, "I haven't even."
I would wear that 4,000%.
Right? I'd say I wear it.
You already bit the bullet.
Wear it every day. You bury me in that son of a bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know. It's wild that he won't.
Corey, just to give you an idea on the menu, and to Uncle Duke's point, you can order a box and have all this stuff sent to you. Masters, cups, napkins, if you're doing a watch party, which my mom is determined to do a watch party next year. So we'll have to figure that out.
For her.
Sandwiches, Corey. Egg salad, $1.50. Pimento cheese sandwich, $1.50. Chicken salad on honey wheat, $3. A Masters Club sandwich, $3. Ham and cheese on rye, $3. We're at $12 and you've got 5 sandwiches. Snacks and miscellaneous, muffin, $2. Banana, $1.25. Chips, plain or barbecue, $1.50. Chocolate chunk cookie, $1.50. Oatmeal raisin cookie, $1.50. Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. Yes, please. Say it louder for the fat kids in the back. $3. Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, $2. Candy, $1.50. Advil or Aleve for the old folks, 75 cents. How do they not even round up to $1 for that? So you get a packet of Advil or Aleve for 75 cents. And then drinks, bottled water, $2, branded, of course. Bottled cola, $2. Bottled Diet Cola, $2. Iced tea, $2. Lemonade, $2. They're all $2. Sports drink or brewed coffee. It's unbelievable. You're not starving to death there at all. And everybody says it's really good stuff.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he gets, because he gets it, it's coming straight from Augusta, right?
Yep.
The pimento cheese and the egg salad, it's unbelievable. Everything that it comes, and the cookie, by the way, is the best part. I'm not a big caramel corn person or whatever they have there.
But the chocolate chunk cookie?
Oh my God, it's next level.
You're here for it?
I snagged an extra one from Eric's and brought it home, and Ava's like, "This is really good. Can I have another one?" I'm like, "We got to go to Georgia." Like, it's like, yeah, it's so good. But
I love this weekend. I forgot about Harbortown this weekend.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Love but one of the best trophies in all of golf is that jacket.
Yes.
The jacket's so dope. The jacket's great. I mean, if I wore it, I'd look like a kitchen table. But anyway, other than that, very exciting. Very exciting. Can we just accept the fact that the Bruins suck and move on to the Red Sox, and you can give me a quick update, then we can go see our families?
Yeah, I think that's a solid thing. I mean, the Bruins aren't doing anything. They're just terrible, and
it's all over the place. It's all over the place. And they're very skewed scores. It's like 7-1, 4-1.
And they're already eliminated anyway. They are out of the playoffs. But yeah, the Red Sox, it was crazy because I had kind of like said there was our show notes actually.
Yes, in the show notes. Yes, I have those here somewhere.
Yeah.
I
faxed them to you.
The Tanner Houck thing was
facsimile.
Tanner Houck, I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. Like the beginning of last season, right? Like he was like a Cy Young. He went to the All-Star game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he was unbelievable. Struggled in the second half of the year. We all checked that box of, you know what? More innings than he's ever pitched. Arm fatigue. He's a year older, understands more, right? We're fine. But if you looked at him this year, ERA is, pushing close to 8, and he got lit up yesterday or last night and just looked terrible. Just looked absolutely terrible. And I don't know if it's like, it's one of those things where for them, for him, I mean, is the anomaly like the first half of last season, or is it, what we're seeing now, or his last 10 starts of, last year and his first 3 this year? I don't know. It's a little terrifying. I think I don't know if you guys are watching Red Sox Clubhouse, the Clubhouse on Netflix.
I watched episode 1 so far. Yeah.
It's very, very good. I think I just got through episode 3 or something, but very, very good. But it's honestly a similar start to last year where they kind of playing 500 baseball. You know, they're not playing, you know, they're not knocking it, not going crazy. But yes, it's open.
Nope.
Nope. No, not my golf clubs. The flag, Nathan, the flag.
I love all of this.
The Masters flag, just the flag. He brought my golf clubs in.
I love it. You're on the right track, buddy. We love it, Big Nate. We love it.
Flag, right on the box. It's big. It's yellow. Go
grab your mother's purse too. Let's rummage through that while we're on the show.
Can you just grab the flag? I just wanted to show him the flag.
I love it. I love it.
Breathe.
You said golf. He's working through the category. He's working through the category.
You know what? I know where these were. I know where these were in the mechanical room, and I know. This is what I know what I have to deal with now when I get down.
Oh, he rummaged to get to them.
He did. Yeah, he had to move.
You leave him, and you leave him in.
Lift and put him down, but I know he did not do that.
My clubs stay in my car year round.
Oh, really?
Well, because I play the winter league, and then as soon as that's over, we're sort of close. I never take them out of the car. They're always in the car. Dude, that's dope.
Turn that back on, Nathan, please.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's like a
thank you, Nathan.
Actual the flag or whatever. But
yep.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
What was the damage on that?
They jokingly said $50, but it wasn't. They bought one for me, Stevie, and Eric's brother-in-law as well. So yeah, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna hang that. I don't know where yet, but I'm gonna hang it somewhere.
Somewhere. Yeah.
But yeah, so for the Red Sox, it's just very similar. I feel like they're off to just they're playing basically 500 inconsistent baseball. The problem is, in my opinion, their rotation's just not set. And Fitz got hurt.
Yep.
I had meant to check on that before the show and see if he needs Tommy John or whatever, but that didn't look good. And I look at it as would love to see, I'm not a big Hamilton fan or a Romy Gonzalez fan personally. I think they could bring up Roman Anthony, bring up Marcelo Mayer. I don't know why they're not doing that, but I don't think you're going to see either of those guys until May at this point. So yeah, we'll see. But just Tanner Houck and the pitching staff needs to if Bayo gets back and healthy, and Cutter Crawford, maybe, but yeah, we got a ways to go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably going to regret saying this because he's probably going to have a banner year, but I feel like they put so much stock into Bayo and calling him Little Pedro and he's going to be the second coming and we just need him to come back, and it's undue pressure on him if he comes back and he's struggling to get going. I've always said this for 1,000 years. I'd rather have them be semi-shitty up until the break. I'm happy for this to drag into the second week of July, and then they got to absolutely figure it out on the other side. But they have to stay in the race.
Crochet has looked, knock on wood, he's looked the Cy Young, the stud that, then obviously they signed him the extension and stuff. I love the extensions. I love the Christian Campbell extension. Mm-hmm. I love the Crochet extension. I love that they're doing this and they're doing, like you said, Tim, it's everything's 10 years. I'm yeah, that's fine. 10 years for 60 million or something ridiculously low. It's not like,
no, I hear you. I hear you.
So I'll take it, but yeah, it's, but there's still, their bullpen needs some help for sure. And it's more like their middle bullpen, and the rotation. But I mean, Tanner was supposed to be you had Crochet, you had Tanner, and then maybe Walker. He was always a question mark, and Bayo would when he comes back. But Tanner was supposed to be that number 2 guy, and he's just looked like garbage, absolute garbage in his first 3 starts. But I'm glad I didn't draft him in fantasy league.
He's my favorite. He's my favorite. I'm rooting for him. I got to tell you before we go, we were talking about we all have our favorites at our house. Janina would push everyone on this show into traffic for Jordan Spieth. She'd probably sleep with his left shoe, if I'm being honest, quite honestly. Yeah, she loves him. And I've always, for no apparent reason, I said again last week on the show, I said the rubbish shoes. He was rooting for Rory. He picked Rory to win the whole thing, so he's right. Let's get that on record. And I said Max Homa. And Aiden loves Shoffley. So we were all talking. He had called from school on FaceTime. We're all talking, and we're talking, and he's like, "I know, Mom, you want Spieth." He's like, "Dad," and I'm like, "Max. It's always gonna be Max for me. Every weekend, I'm gonna be rooting for Max to win." And I'm like, "He's my homo boy." And Aiden goes, all Aiden says, and Janina's like, she goes, we finished the call with him, of course. And Janina goes, "You want to know what's sad?" She's like, "He's like the dad in the relationship." Because when I said that, Aiden just goes, "Enough." Like he gave me the "I'll turn this car around" speech, right? Because I'm like, he's my homo boy. He's like, "Enough." Like he's just like, "No, Dad, no, enough. The only thing that kills me about Max is he was FootJoy Titleist, and he switched now, and he's Lululemon and Cobra and Puma, and I don't know.
He played well Sunday though.
He did. I was joking because they kept showing him as the afternoon dragged on. They kept showing him, and I kept saying to Gina, "He's coming. He's coming." She's like, "He's not coming. He's on the 17th. He's not coming.
No.
He's finishing. He's not coming."
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But I love him to death. I want him to win. He needs to win a big one, not a major, but like a big tournament this year to get his shit together. But he's a good dude. He's funny as hell. Funny as hell. Yeah. Great golfer.
I did feel bad for him though, where one of the all he was like, actually someone's like, "Oh, he was holding like the flag." It wasn't like a pin, it was like a flag to show like where the ball was going, and he hit the guy back. I felt bad for him. That's such a bad break. And it's where the guy was standing was a terrible spot, but at the same time that's where he was supposed to be, or in that area, you know, but then he should have also had it head on kind of on a swivel. But the way that he was so nonchalant after he got hit, and then walked and like had put his like leg behind the other leg and stuff, and like with the pin and just, or with the flag, and just kind of stood there, and then he walked to the like a little bit more to the left, and then did the exact same stance, and I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?" I don't know. But yeah,
it's an art.
I felt bad for Homa.
It's probably how they're supposed to stand at Augusta.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Amazing. All right, we're going to escape. We'll be back at it next week. I have no idea what day that will be, but we want to thank Joe and Leslie and our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. We'd love for you to subscribe and like and share and comment. You can do that at atbshow.com. For Uncle Dukes and Corey and me and the two jackasses stuck in hair and makeup, Rubber Shoes is at American Grappling. That's where he is. I have no idea. It's like some minor league, like sub. I don't know. I don't think it's WWE. He's doing
like,
that.
It's probably his like fourth show he's ever missed. Out of like
I want to see him in
honestly,
tights.
Yeah. He has the least absences. Yes, when we graduate, he will have the most proficient student. And Adam, I believe, is at lacrosse. Although it's pouring here, not necessarily pouring in Connecticut, but he's supposed to be at lacrosse apparently. So we'll get back to it next week. Have a great week. Thanks, guys.